Alright, so I feel like I've been avoiding this long enough, but today I'm gonna let you guys know what happened to Crystal. Well, since it's so windy outside, let's go sit inside of her and I will begin to tell you guys everything that happened. So let's go ahead and get this started. So the very beginning of this story actually takes place, I'd say about a month ago. If you guys remember, I uploaded a video about how it snowed everywhere and everything, and that was all fine and dandy, but I'd say about, I don't know, maybe a week after that, it got really cold again. It didn't snow, but it was really cold. And when I started the car that day, because I was actually going to work, but when I started the car that day, it was making this weird kind of clicking noise. And I didn't really think too much about it. Like, I knew it was weird. I knew it shouldn't have been doing that, but it didn't worry me too much because it was cold. So I didn't really pay any attention to it. But then when I got off of work, I noticed that it was louder than whenever I was going to work. And so it was really dark outside. I couldn't really see much. I was trying to use a flashlight on my phone. Didn't see anything that was going on. But I decided that I'd check it out the next day. The next day it was warmer. It was about 70 degrees. And I started the car and it wasn't doing it. So I thought it was kind of weird. It baffled me. I knew that something was wrong, but I just didn't know what, because it was doing it when it was cold, but then when it warmed up, it wasn't doing it anymore. That night, I worked again. That night when I got off of work, I went in my car to, go home and stuff, and it was doing it again, even louder. So I was like, okay, this has gone on long enough. It's got to be something. So I was trying to research it, and it was basically a dead end. I couldn't find a reason why it was doing it. I honestly didn't even know really how to describe it, if that makes sense. So I was trying to think what could be causing it. And one of the only things that I could really honestly think of was, well, the oil was right about when it needed to be changed. Maybe since it got really cold, maybe the oil just needed to be changed. Maybe it was too thin. So the next day I went and bought oil. I bought the oil filter. I bought everything I needed to do the oil. And that's what I did. I changed the oil and everything. And I started it back up, and it was still making the noise, but then it kind of started to go away a little bit. Like, I could still hear it, just not as much. So I was starting to think, like, man, like, what if it's like an engine knock? What if something's really going bad with it? I don't know what to do. I really don't want to sell the car. I don't want anything like that to happen. But then again, if it was an engine knock or something, it would be hella expensive to fix. So I started thinking the worst, and I really didn't want to drive the car that much at that point. Because, like I said, I still didn't know what was causing it. And if it was something bad, I didn't want to make it worse. But that night, Araceli was getting really sick. Her temperature was, I believe, 104.3. So we had to take her to the emergency room. And the only option that I had was to take our car. Even though I didn't want to, that's what we had to do. So it was still making the noise up there. It kind of went away a little bit. And I was thinking, okay, well, maybe it was just the oil change. Maybe it just needed time to run and the oil would circulate through. So I started thinking, okay, well, everything's fine and dandy. Maybe it was just the oil, and it kind of slipped my mind. But then whenever we were leaving the emergency room, you could hear it bad. I mean, it was bad. So we stopped at a gas station to get some gas, and I decided, since we were under the awning and everything, where you park, it has the stuff overhead, and it had lights. I was like, well, you know what, while we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and take a look. So I left the car running, and what I found was the clutch for the cooling fan was gone. I mean, it wasn't gone, it was still there, but it wasn't doing its job. It bent from how it's supposed to be, so the cooling fan was actually hitting the housing for the cooling fan, and the belt was actually slipping off the pulley. As I speak right now, the belt is actually only halfway on the pulley. So at that point, at least I knew what was wrong. I knew what was making the noise, and I thought that maybe the next day, whenever it was light, I could go out there and maybe readjust the belt so the fan wouldn't be hitting the cover, and so that way the belt wouldn't slip off of the pulley. But actually looking at it, the clutch, like I said, is gone. It needs to be completely replaced. And so I look into the part, and the part's not too expensive. It's about $40. but in order to replace it, you need to take the alternator off, you need to take the radiator out, you need to take the cooling fan off, you need to take the I can't remember if it's the fuel pump or the water pump, but you gotta take one of those off, and that's gonna be a lot of work. And I'm no mechanic, I'm not any kind of genius when it comes to working on cars by any means, and I'm not pretending to be. So I'm gonna end up taking it to a shop to get them to fix it, and I've already gotten a couple quotes. It's gonna be right around like $300 for them to fix it. So that's what's going on with Crystal. That's why we haven't been driving her, just because I actually don't really have all the money to do it right now. So probably in about, I'd say a week and a half, I'm going to take her down there, and I'm not going to drive the car because I don't want to risk the belt slipping off the pulley, because then that's going to create a whole heaping mess of problems I have to get fixed, and I don't want to turn a $300 repair into a $3,000 repair. So I'm probably going to end up renting a pickup truck through U-Haul with one of their auto transports, and I'll get the Passat onto the trailer and just haul her down there like that. So yeah, that's why I haven't been driving Crystal, and it sucks, and that's honestly kind of why I haven't wanted to make this video, because it sucks. And it may not seem so bad to you guys, but to me, like, I love this car. I know it's a 2004, it may seem kind of like an older car. For you, you may not really think this is that special of a car, but I really like it. There's a lot that we've done to it, there's a lot more that we're gonna do to it, but yeah, I was just at the point where I was afraid that we'd have to get rid of her or buy a new car. And when I was thinking that we may have to do that, I was looking for other kind of cars, and I found another 2004 Passat, but I'm not gonna do that. Like I said, we've already invested a lot into her. We've changed her and we've made her unique to me. So yeah, I'm just gonna spend the $300 to get her fixed, and from there we'll be back in Crystal, and God, I can't wait. So yeah, guys, that's the reason why Crystal's just been kind of sitting here, and we haven't been driving her. No, I'm not gonna sell her. I know some of you guys are thinking that, but honestly, I'm not gonna sell this car anytime soon. I love this car, and she's not going anywhere except to the shop to get fixed, so that way we can get her back on the road. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to let me know with a big thumbs up. Also, be sure to subscribe for new videos every single week. Turn on my post notifications, so you'll be the first to know when my next video goes live. And while you're at it, check the description and be sure to check me out on social media. So until my next video, take care and be safe. Peace.
All this jewelry, they gon' notice me. And you know I got that roll on me. I pull it slow with me. Send her on them boys.